Hi there!
Hi everyone!
So another episode of LH Crypto Weekly Analysis is on.
Yeah, and we're back to our routine and use just to...
Well, it's very entertaining routine. You'll see yourself. So what's on?
Okay, we're gonna talk about Bitcoin again.
And a little bit about Ripple. Time to shift to another cryptocurrencies.
And hackers.
And failures.
And IPOs. Good starts.
Yeah, and some airy substance which is really a pool for earnings. And finally, another recommendation for those who'd like to earn on stock markets. Let's go.
Yep. So we're starting with cryptocurrencies, and our main hero is again Bitcoin. It looks like it is bound to break the psychological level of 1,600 USD per Bitcoin, or even 62.
Yeah, we've waited it for so long, and it looks so beautiful now.
However, a three-day chart is showing some bearish divergence, so probably in trading volumes. So it may pull back to as low as 1,500. So don't you raise your hopes?
That's
too
just
high.
one opinion.
Well, still, the bullish trend is on, and it also always recovers. So Bitcoin always recovers from breaking the lower levels, and also in fundamental analysis on from the 13th to the 15th of May, we're having Blockchain Week in New York City and CoinDesk Consensus 2019. So most likely they will have a positive effect on Bitcoin.
Okay, and Ripple, another significant cryptocurrency, just a seed of a very developed technological project. Well, its price is fluctuating around 0.277 USD per one Ripple. May not seem that significant, but it's not the actual price that we look, it's the change. So experts of LH Crypto say that Ripple actually failed to scale above 20-day moving average, which is a signal that market of Ripple lacks buyers. So no demand. Still, if the support line as at 0.77 holds, the pair might remain stable and stay awaiting for the buyer's attention.
I have a piece of news. It's relative to markets, but I thought it's fun. So there were hackers at the beginning of May. The world saw a massive hacker attack on big platforms, repositories like GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket were among those 400 repository storages hacked. And those hackers, they said that in 10 days, you have to give us 0.1 Bitcoin. It's $5 and something $100, really not that much. Or we'll publish your initial codes.
And you find this situation funny?
Yeah, the funny thing is that no one paid attention to them, and they said, well, we're not paying you, and dear users, just address the support and just forget them. Wow. So nobody's probably going to pay those buyouts.
Another plot, rather for a series of cryptocurrency market history, is the noise and buzz around Tether, because all those guys who call them crypto enthusiasts, crypto
activists,
and so on and so forth, crypto angels and all the biblical, pantheon. So they are claiming to delist Tether, which means actually to kill it. What's wrong with the most important and most famous, stable coin? Actually, the first one. Just remind, stable coin is a coin which price is tied to the price of United States dollar. Now, the point is that all these guys, personally, are blaming and accuse Tether in fraud. The point is that just a couple of days ago they discovered a shortfall in their assets of 850 million USD. I believe no one ever can call this 800 million bucks short because it's really a long fall. But still, Bitfinex says he has nothing to do to it. It's not their fraud, it's a failure, and so they had to actually bother and loan funds to finance this fraud by loaning their own stocks. So still, people just argue and rumor that this very generous afford won't be able to sustain Tether at the same price.
Okay, now we're going to the real world. We have a kindly reminder that actually there is a great, most anticipated IPO going on. Uber has finally released their date and they have started their IPO. And just to remind you how good IPOs can be, I have a nice story. A week ago, there was an IPO of Beyond Meat. It's a meat replacement, ethic vegan meat and company. And a week ago, they started an IPO. And
not to mention gender equal, I suppose.
The offer price they claimed was $25 per share, but the next day trading started off with $46 and the first day closed with $65, and it's an American company that is very well known in America. And think about Uber, what is going to happen to Uber?
So my example is a bright example of how a company once successful may, due to various reasons, become really a failure. And I'm talking about Alcoa, but just remember that every failure is always a chance to win for those who know and do the right movings. Yeah. So just to introduce you another member of LH crypto trading platform stocks list, Alcoa. Alcoa is the third largest aluminium company manufacturer in the world. Yes, and the largest producer of aluminium in US. You know, very valuable metal in electronics and aerospace, so on and so forth. So once in the history peak, their stocks were worth 120, 130, which was in
just very recently.
2007 and 2008.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, but actually after that, a deep decline of aluminum prices appeared of more than a half year by year. Can you imagine it? So the company had to fire 50,000 people, and they had losses which were 4 billion in 2008 and another billion in 2009, and so finally their stock slipped to a total down which was between 51 and 60, and now they're 25 at all. So which is actually the long year support line. So what I'm insisting is that there should be a bounce.
And you promised her some very suspicious, intriguing, airy substance.
Airy substance, okay. Yeah, natural gas, thank you. Do you know that in, by the way, the same 2007 and 2008, the price for natural gas peaked historical record of 13,300 USD per MMBTU. Well, it's just 1 million British thermal units. Yeah, I shall not explain it further, okay? So, and now they're fluctuating around 2,500. Why is that? No, actually what I'm trying to say is that natural gas prices have fallen sharply after striking the expected multi-year maximum in late 2018. That was due to US economy because the winter happened to be very cold and stocks and inventories of gas were at the 15 years low finally. Not to mention that, you know, all the speculators just felt the moment and they boosted the prices, and there was a certain shortage of gas before plants and, you know, utilities were able to shift to coal generating, yeah, and so on and so forth. So the point is that the fall that natural gas expected was from 4,500 MMBTU to just 2,500 just in a couple of months. See the point,
by
right?
2 times.
See the point, yeah. And for example, Bank of America Merrill Lynch argue that the prices of natural gas are about to rise again. Because as we know, this can be easily predicted due to forecasts. Of course, United States are more prepared this time, but who knows what happened around all this Nord Stream pipelines and South Stream pipelines coming from Europe, all this liquefied natural gas situation. So keep an eye on it. There is a room for earnings. So let's say goodbye to our precious viewers. Follow us on YouTube. Just don't forget to click on the link for the news, even more news on crypto market.
More details.
Yeah, just in the description of the video. So we wish you a very
nice
fine
weekend.
weekend. Yeah, so see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.